Welcome to Nostalgia Alley, and we have a great show tonight. It's going to be one of my favorite shows. We're going way back to talk about the accordion, the history of the accordion. We have a terrific guest, an accordion extraordinaire tonight on our show. Eric Kerrsen has been playing the accordion for a long time, knows all the great things from the 40s, 50s, 60s, Italian songs, sing-along songs. The list goes on and on and on. Eric, welcome to Nostalgia Alley.
Thank you, Mike.
Got to ask you, how did the accordion get started?
Oh, the accordion got started back in, well, it's based on an instrument called the sheng, which was invented back in China around 3000 BC. Long story short, the free reeds that were in that type of instrument were adapted, put into an instrument called the portative. Eventually, they stuck a piano keyboard on it back in probably the late 1800s, and it just kind of evolved. Eventually, the keyboard was standardized. The bass side was standardized. There's also concertina accordions and button accordions on both sides.
Wow. Now, how did you get started playing the accordion?
I started when I was 6 years old. My parents are both of German descent, so as soon as I could pretty much walk, they strapped one on me. I went for a 10-lesson course in Fairview, New Jersey. After the lessons were done, my folks asked me if I enjoyed it. I said yes, so I ended up taking lessons for about 10 years. Wow.
Now, I look at the accordion. It's a lot different from piano, a lot of buttons and whistles and things. How does it work? What do all these things on the accordion briefly do?
Okay, well, this is your saying. This is the middle of a piano keyboard.
Okay.
Okay. So you can see it's C, D, E, F, G, you see?
Now, how many keys
There's
on
41 keys here.
Versus 88 on a piano,
Right, exactly.
give or take? Okay.
Exactly. You'll see these buttons here. What these will do is they'll change the sound of the treble on the keyboard. So if you start down here, this will try to simulate a bassoon sound. So for example, you could go bandonion, violin, accordion, clarinet, piccolo,
wow. Now you got tons of buttons on that side. How many buttons on that side?
There's 120 buttons over here. This one with the little rhinestone here is your middle C.
Right.
So that it will correspond to your, and if you push this button on the third row below it, that's your C major chord. The next button up, every button that goes up is 5 notes higher than the one below it. So the next button up would be G, 5 notes higher than C. Then D, then A, then E, and so on. And the same way going down. So here's your C major chord, G major, D major, and so on. The rows below that are your minor chords. Your 7th chord is another row down. And then the bottom row is your diminished chords. And eventually you figure out where they are.
How the heck do you figure that all out? That's amazing. You make it look so easy, too. I love that.
Yeah.
You know what I'd love you to start off with, and then we're going to ask you some more questions later. Sure. Love the 1940s. Big fan. And the show is basically about the 30s and 40s. Okay. How about a little medley of 40s sound? And if you could, for me, my mother-in-law, who you know very well, is at Green Hill, Mildred Delalloy, has 2 favorite songs, Stardust and As Time Goes By. If you could start off with that for Millie and then go into the 40s, it would be terrific.
Sure, sure. I actually grew up, when I was taking my music lesson, I would take a 20-minute book lesson, and then my music teacher, who grew up in that era would give me a 10-minute by-ear lesson of all the big band standards. So
wow.
Stardust I learned, you know, basically he'd play part of it, and then I would just follow him.
Goes by. Oh, that's terrific.
Oh, thank you.
We're talking about my mother-in-law, Mildred Delaloy, and she's at a retirement community called Green Hill. God bless her. She's 95, and she's doing great. And you know her very well.
That's how I met you.
And that's how we met, because of Mildred. And must be very gratifying to work with the elderly.
You know, it's enjoyable for me because I love playing the old songs. I mean, it's the best music that was ever written, and they, you know, they know the words and they know the songs, and it's just a pleasure. You know, it's the music I grew up playing, and it's the music they grew up listening to. So.
You know what I find amazing? People who are in this retirement community, memory may not be terrific, but they hear a song and they know every single word to that. So it's great to bring back memories. It's amazing. Talk a little bit about the golden age of accordions, 1900 to 1950.
I guess 1950, 1960. To me, I grew up I'm a product of the 60s and 70s. I always like to say I was a rebel, because while everybody else was playing the guitar, I was playing the accordion. And but I grew up watching. I had two idols. I watched Lawrence Welk. Myron Florin was my idol, and my other idol was Walt Frazier of the New York Knicks.
All right.
But I could never play basketball.
Can he bat with the harmonica? Is he pretty good with that? Huh? With an accordion, I should say.
But you know, the 40s, the 50s. I mean, you see Bill Haley when he first started making records. He had an accordion. Buddy Holly had an accordion in his band.
Wow. Yeah. I remember the Harmonic Cats years and years ago used to do a lot of records. There were like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah,
and they were absolutely terrific. Grew up on that. They were absolutely wonderful.
Interesting.
Wanted to ask you, could you play some more selection of the 40s, some of the great songs?
Yeah, let's see. How about
bring back some nostalgia here.
How about Moonlight Serenade?
My favorite.
You like that one?
My favorite. Fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Now, Tom Jaron, our hardworking executive producer, is in the control room now, running this show. Tom, any requests?
He's going to stump me.
Follow it up with another Miller favorite, In the Mood.
All right. Fabulous. Thank you, Glenn Miller.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break right now.
All right.
And I'm sure our people will be in the mood to see more of the show. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this commercial announcement.
Take us out with some music.
If you're not helping after-school programs, you're really helping to take them away. After-school programs, wouldn't you rather be helping?
Can I help you, sir?
I found these over by the stairs.
Okay, thank you.
What are they?
Love handles. Lots of people lose them taking the stairs instead of the escalator.
And we're back. Terrific. Now we're going to go over here to one of our ace cameramen. Larry, do you have a request for Eric?
Oh, sure, I'd like to hear
Crazy. Old country and western guy.
The old,
All right, let's do it.
Do you want the Patsy Cline version or the Willie Nelson version?
Terrific. Terrific.
Thanks, Mike.
Let me ask you, are you offended by the term squeezebach and accordion? A lot of people refer to it. It doesn't bother you, right?
No, you know, you get used to it.
Accordion player, get that squeeze
accordion,
box
yeah.
out there. No, okay. What is the difference between an accordion and a concertina?
Concertina's much
Yeah,
smaller.
smaller. You see that in the cowboy movies, you know, like Gabby Hayes. Gosh, Roy, let's take out the accordion. But is similar in the way it works, or a little different?
Yeah, I mean they both have the metal reeds inside, but the concertina, I believe, I've never played one, but I believe it has buttons on both sides. And then if with this accordion, whether you're pulling in or out on the bellows, it's the same note. But on the concertina, similar to what most harmonicas, if you draw air in, it's one note. If you blow out, it's a different note. And I think it's, as you squeeze in and out, it's a different note.
There's an even flow of air when you play the accordion.
Well, they teach you how to do that, eventually.
Are there different types of accordions that are out there, or is there a standard accordion?
I mean, there's a standard piano accordion.
Right.
There's accordions with buttons on both sides. This is a standard piano accordion. This is a full-size piano accordion.
Now, is accordion coming back? Is this a hip thing now? Because a lot of contests are going on, and conventions, and a lot of action.
I think it is making a comeback. You know, Sheryl Crow played the accordion before she played the guitar, I believe. If you listen to you know, artists from Eric Clapton to Springsteen, you'll hear accordions. Billy Joel used the accordion a lot. So you'll hear it on a.
And Buckwheat Zydeco, a lot of the Cajun accordion.
The Cajun, I mean, the accordion is the instrument in Cajun or Zydeco.
Do you do any
music.
Cajun stuff?
I do a couple of songs like the Buckwheat Zydeco play. He makes it more Zydeco.
More of a Zydeco sound?
But that's really fun music. It really is.
Do you do a little quick Zydeco?
He does a great version of a.
Terrific. Now we have to do some Italian songs.
All right,
we gotta do some Italian.
Well, it's an Italian accordion.
Absolutely,
So
we gotta do some Italian.
They kind of
stuff.
come out all by themselves.
Very good. Now with your
So that's
German
all.
background.